another episode of HR and Payroll 2.0. I'm Pete Tiliakis, and as always, I'm joined by the legendary Julie Fernandez. Welcome, Julie.
Thanks, Pete. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to have you back. Good to be back. We've both been traveling a little bit, I think. We got some updates on that.
We did.
Yeah, you went to Ceridian, I believe.
I was in Chicago last week.
Very cool. Yes, I was in Austin with Team Zoho, so got some updates there for sure. So look, maybe I thought we could jump into the news, bunch of news this week in the HR space. And of course, I'm super excited for the Super Bowl of Payroll, the annual American Payroll Congress happening next week in Denver, Colorado. So
That's right.
thought we could talk about all those things.
Sounds great. Why don't you dive in? I know you got a laundry list.
Yep. Let's do it. So more activity. As always, there were some acquisitions this week. Some new products that came out. I know you've got some exciting things coming that you heard from Ceridian. And of course, we had some of the events. So just starting off with the acquisitions, HireVue and Modern Hire got together. HireVue and Modern View are both talent acquisition solutions, both AI-enabled workplace engagement capabilities. And basically, HireVue is really this is their sixth acquisition. I read before picking up Modern Hire. So most recently, they bought Alio. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. They're also another AI workplace solution. And now they have Modern Hire and HireVue getting together gives them a combined almost 1,200 customers globally, and half of that is the Fortune 100. So talent acquisition and talent remains critical, right? We're seeing more consolidation there.
That's right.
Other acquisitions in the talent space, learning platform and content provider Go1. I'm not super familiar with them, but I am familiar with their acquisition target, and that is Blinkist, the mobile first learning app, which basically kind of paraphrases, I guess, footnotes or cliff notes, what they call it, style. Summarization across a huge library of professional, content, books, podcasts, that sort of thing. And so Go1 now is really fueling their micro learning content for in the flow of work, professional sort of development in their platform. So really, again, focusing here on talent and all the things that go with acquiring and developing top talent. Right, you're going to see, I think, more and more of these things getting together and powering up. So
yeah.
Cool stuff.
Data and data repositories full of stuff to learn, right?
Yes, right. And we talked about that on our last episode with Dave about the talent intelligence side of things and how to look at these. So check that out if you haven't already. Okay, other news. OneSource Virtual launched a new partner program called One Team, and then quickly today came out with the announcement of one of their, professional services AMS partners for Workday. So really what I think they're doing is doing what most organizations are today, and that's opening up their offering and their platform, creating, deeper integration with more solutions to bring more value to their customer base. So I already know of a few other partnerships that are on the way from OneSource Virtual, some very exciting stuff. And I think this makes perfect sense for them. And of course, now, as we know, with them divesting their professional services side of the business, they're in a really good position now to capitalize on selling BPaaS services, right? Where they're focused purely into organizations that they might not have been able to do that for previously because those SIs were competitors and now they're not competitors. So a lot of stuff on the horizon. I think a lot of growth on the horizon for OneSource Virtual's BPaaS, especially with Workday's massive push for growth as well. So
I think something really interesting about that, Pete, is, a lot of practitioners who listen, might not really recognize how this whole, how the whole partnership portion goes. And, they seldom go to you and I will attend things that are made for different analyst or partner type relationships, and practitioners don't get to see that side of the house. So it's, maybe just as a little context to know what goes on in these events, where they're looking at their own ecosystems. And as you mentioned, OneSource Virtual just got rid of their professional services. That's oftentimes the SI partner market, right? If you're a software provider, you have SI partners that are doing the systems integration. So when you get rid of that piece, what other sorts of partnerships are there? And there's things like, software partners or global payroll partners or, or different ongoing services partners, right? And there's a little bit to know for folks that are looking at whether it's software or whether it's SIs or wherever you're buying in the market, understanding a little bit about the partner models for the companies that you're looking at can really be telling, and it can be an important asset to the way that your potential provider is going to approach things, and who's going to come to the table. So we could probably do a whole episode on digging into the kind of the partnerships and the family of relationships that happens in these markets these days.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, look, OneSource is certainly a service provider, but they obviously have their own proprietary tech and their Atmosphere solution, which is very much just embedded in Workday from an experience perspective. And I think that the key word that you brought up was ecosystem, right? Everyone is looking to build out their ecosystems to fuel more opportunities for themselves, but also provide more value to their customers. So yeah, no, completely agree. And you're right. That is something, it is almost like sometimes a little bit of a black box for buyers, right? Not understanding entirely and even the word partner, right, gets used differently by different vendors. But here, I think you can see OneSource is obviously, now they've shed that SI capability. Yeah, again, it really opens them up to be able to play with the other SIs for the purpose of taking on BPaaS services. And I think this is a step in that direction. So excited for them to see what they're going to do with their new offering.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. So on the generative AI front, there were 3 solutions last week that announced, 3 major providers, technology providers announced various generative AI capabilities, right? Microsoft, IBM, and Google Cloud by way of its alliance with UKG. So UKG has basically announced that they will be leveraging large language models and generative AI to drive obviously deeper insights for better decision-making for both the practitioner and the employee. And they are a very early partner here with Google Cloud's enterprise-grade Gen AI and the large language models that they offer. And so I think if you know UKG, they are a Google Cloud customer. They are one of the first HCMs providers in the Google Cloud marketplace, and all in on Google from a technology perspective across their solutions. So really plays nicely into their recent UKG Flex technology platform, right, which is their open approach to deeper AI, API frameworks, and low-code, no-code design capabilities. So microservices and low-code design, obviously very important for creating those white space fillers, right, that can solve, things that are very unique to you that might not be available yet. So, yeah.
Pete, this is so important, but I also kind of chuckle, because on the practitioner side of the house, when we're working with clients, it's like, already it's enough. We know, that AI is advancing or machine learning is advancing, but now we're talking a whole nother layer or a whole nother level of things that mean a lot to providers bringing forth capabilities, but maybe a little bit less to practitioners who are like, oh my God, I just know what AI is. Now I got to worry about what is generative AI and what is large language models. And so it's like peeling the onion in the automation space. And, some of these will probably become more common concepts to the HR and payroll or benefits practitioner than they are today. But glad to see all of this advancing because things are moving and they're moving fast.
Yeah, it is. And you're right. And I think that I want to see more, especially, I know we're going to talk payroll here in a little bit, but I want to see more organizations embrace these things. I think there's still this fear and this, it's not, not for us kind of attitude that I think we got to make sure that we're being open-minded as practitioners and saying, hey, let's see how these can make life better. And I love that Microsoft and big tech and Google and IBM are all getting in the game, because not only does that mean that the HR tech is getting advanced with AI, it means that the workplace tech is actually advancing, which means productivity and just right. How many systems do we all log into every day, and how many things do we have to deal with in our day to day? Being able to augment us in that way and support us across those solutions, I think is really, really exciting for workers everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. So we've both been to some events. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you learned at the Ceridian Global Partner event this week? I'm excited to hear.
Hey, we're the Payroll Baddies, and our mission is to make payroll fun and relatable.
And call out industry when they hear it.
You got to call it out. You got to call it like you see it. But we also got to shine a light on all those unsung payroll heroes out there, making sure we get paid.
Yeah, those are the real payroll baddies out there, and we love sharing their stories and showing them love.
With gold chain and everything, baby.
By the way, SAP is the best payroll out there, and if you don't like it,
get out.
Yeah, sure. So I was in Chicago with Ceridian. They put on a wonderful event. And like we started to say earlier with your OSV news, oftentimes these events are geared for a different community. They're geared for the analyst and or, partner community. There's a lot of different types or styles of partners, but essentially they work with the software, in this case, with the Ceridian organization in some unique way, shape, or form. And it's important for them to really know not only what are the latest product features, but what is the roadmap, and to get a chance to put hands on so that in whatever capacity they're working with their clients and might be touching Ceridian as an option or as, the chosen way to go, they're knowledgeable, right? And in many cases, it's knowledge that is getting out there in the partner markets or among the folks that are using and aiding clients with these tools before it comes out at the client conferences, right? So they're giving them a little bit of a heads up and helping to get them proficient. And so what always happens with these is some unique combination of, hey, what's the latest, how successful, and what are some stats around success and adoption, and a little bit of show and tell. And so, I did walk away with some things that were really interesting. The leading with Dayforce Wallet, of course, and just some incredible news that Dayforce Wallet just passed $1 billion
wow.
in pay that has been directed toward the wallet or the pay cards, right? That
Yeah.
are aligned with Dayforce Wallet. And so they had Aaron Fox there, who's like the wallet guy, like
yeah,
kind of a joke, like he's going to come out with his Superman suit, right, with a big W or something. And you think about it, there were a few different numbers thrown about, but the way that I understood it is there's already 1,500 Dayforce clients signed on for Wallet, and then there was another stat was 900 are live. So it's just rapid adoption, right? And it's something that's been live in the US for 3 years, Canada for 2, and the UK just launched. So all of this news is kind of coming together to create a little bit of a splash right now, along with some cool stats around things that clients want to know when they're thinking about, do I have to worry about whether it's responsible for me to let employees touch their pay, more often on an on-demand basis, or is there a stewardship, or is there any sort of conundrum involved in that I should really understand? How are people using this, and what are they doing with tools like Wallet, things like the earned wage access or daily pay, or whatever your nomenclature is for it, right?
Yeah. I've always been impressed with the way Dayforce has, in my opinion, dominated and chosen to win payroll, whereas I feel like a lot of the other HCMs have sort of conceded it in a way to them. And they've really been out there, right? And done a lot of innovative things that are all coming together now and making a huge impact.
They absolutely have. And so, another highlight for me of the day and a half or the couple of days out there was Josh Valdez, who's the SVP of products, who was walking through, what I guess you would say are some of the Dayforce product imperatives. Some of them are there, they're relatively new, and some of them are just coming out on the horizon. But I kind of put a little tick list of some items that I thought I'd share today.
Yeah, please.
One of them being the idea of a skills engine, and kind of two different applications for that. One being a career explorer, which you can imagine would be, the employee thinking about their upward movement within the organization, how to kind of plan their career, and then the reverse lens that is the internal talent marketplace, where perhaps you have more managers and leaders that are trying to figure out where they can tap talent that's already in the organization. And that's pretty consistent with the conversation we just had last week with Dave and others that we've had about skills, skills and talent being, hot topics in today's market, right?
Oh, yeah. Did you see the recent WEF, the World Economic Forum jobs report?
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, lots of disruption on the way. Spoiler alert.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me go through a couple of other cool
Yep.
items, that just caught my attention. Experience Hub for Ceridian, which was launched, about a year ago.
Yep.
But they're really looking at focusing that on being that experience touch point, or kind of the portal inroads, right? Including client branding on the landing page. And so we're seeing, several of the HCM or the technology players recognize that there's an experience in portal connection and CRM tools, right? That needs to become a part of their suite, or the ServiceNows and the others will kind of come in and fill that gap, which is what's been happening in recent years. So
yeah,
a lot of cool focus there, and a lot of things that you can then do with your HR service, with your Experience Hub. And that leads me also to the HR service delivery, which is new in 2023. And I'll oversimplify this as just kind of the CRM, bit that goes with the portal, right? Where you're leveraging search and hub and knowledge management to try to preempt maybe inquiries, right? And solve cases before they actually have to get to a tier one or some help intervention with client success or some other organization. And so again, a lot of focus on these rounding out experience within the suite, for sure. Couple others, if I'll rattle them off. Predictive workforce planning. That's machine learning driven. And cool things. There's always new things on any roadmap around reporting and dashboards and that sort of thing. And I saw one that caught my eye was an org health indicator that was building in,
interesting,
like a dashboard around burnout or employee experience. And I think it's SHRM, some SHRM measures that are underlying that particular dashboard.
Yeah.
Embedded payroll intelligence, so some hyperscale investment there. And have you heard the word co-pilots tossed about as we start to talk more and more about AI and automation? And
a little. How is it used there?
Well, just saying, acknowledging that I think that term, we'll see if it shakes out or not.
Yeah.
Co-pilots are all the rage, so using and tagging, different co-pilots and almost journey level things to recruiting or career or compliance, just attaching them to use cases.
Yeah.
And trying to gain a little bit of grounds from an automation perspective, yet acknowledging that the AI tool doesn't just do it all. It has to do it in conjunction or as a knowledge enhancement.
Yeah. Augmentation.
Yeah, exactly. You're augmenting, your knowledge worker with, data and access to data and automation, that sort of thing. So that was cool.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll just say, as we hit toward the end of the couple of days there, you can't go to a Ceridian event without having David Ossip himself. Come out and kind of showcase, and he's just fun to watch. If you haven't ever watched David, do his thing, because there aren't many CEOs who are truly, product gurus of their own, in their own right.
Very visionary.
And prospects love to see it, and clients love to see it. And if you haven't ever seen it, it's a real highlight usually for people to watch him kind of worm his way through, all of the things that are on the roadmap or just there where you can almost see and touch them. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, I love what Ceridian has done with the payroll experience. I mean, they were always very strong in that sort of workforce management package of core HR, payroll, and time. And I think they continue to do a tremendous job. And David has always had a very forward vision when it comes to payroll, right? They were the first, I think, to come out with continuous calculation, very first to market with Dayforce Wallet. They continue on with more insights. And I love the service delivery element that more of these solutions are bringing in, where the workplace tech is converging a little bit more with the workforce tech. So yeah, very good stuff.
They do. We see them going further and further upstream in the enterprise market, right? I don't know if people would be surprised to know that, on the large end of the enterprise market scale, I think their largest client is like 700,000 or 800,000 employees. So we usually think of them as being, as hitting the mid-market space and below, like some of their other top competitors. But the tools are indeed making their way up market, and there's something, really appealing about some of the features and functionality they have.
Yeah, agreed. They've really come up market. I think if I recall, their target is 6,000 plus and above is really their ideal. And you could see it in their C-suite. You can see it in their transformation that they've gone through over the years. And it's been great to see it evolve. Let me ask you one question, because I think there's been a little bit of market confusion. Someone even sort of challenged me this week that Ceridian is now really going to market and sort of going after global payroll deals solely. And I said, I actually don't believe that that's the goal. Dayforce is still the flagship. Dayforce is still, they're very much still an HCM product and that is first and foremost the plan. But don't think for a minute that they would shy away from taking on an opportunity that was sizable. They announced a big deal, I believe, in Australia with an organization, a mining company. The name slips my mind right now, where they are just doing payroll in time for multi-country in region. And so I don't think for a minute you should think that they are just focused on being a global payroll provider. I think they're very much an HCM provider first with a very strong global capability through their acquisitions.
Hey, this is Brent Skinner, host of Small Talk Window here at the Work Defined Podcasting Network. Have you ever wanted a short podcast to listen to during a coffee break of your workday? You've come to the right place. My guests dispense with the small talk as quickly as possible and settle into a meaningful conversation around the world of work.
Pace of change in the world of business is fast, and that drives incredible complexity for the world of human resources.
Welcome to the HR Data Lab's Brown Bag Lunch, a series of conversations with experts inside and outside the world of human resources on how to innovate, measure, and evolve our practices.
Our goal is to help provide you with practical examples of how HR has to change and to meet in this complex business environment.
Every week, we'll talk to new and different voices on all aspects of human resources.
And guess what? You get to chat with us live.
Live?
Live.
So they can answer questions or they can ask us questions.
They can ask, they can answer, whatever they want. They get to talk with us live.
That's awesome.
Sometimes we geek out on the data and technology that underlie the processes that drive the world of HR.
But the conversations are always insightful and fun. So please enjoy the HR Data Lab's Brown Bag Lunch.
Pete, think too about where at least if it's in the context of that particular deal, there has been a high degree of activity with Ceridian in Asia Pac where they made the acquisitions, both of Fidelity and of Ascender. And so a lot of the assets and the forward thinkingness in that region in particular centers around the idea of being able to bring payroll together under one umbrella. And quite frankly, Dayforce is the intermediary for that umbrella. So even if Dayforce isn't native for you there, Dayforce is kind of the glue that holds it together. And so there isn't an easy answer to, kind of circumventing and just delivering payroll without thinking about Dayforce as a key element, right?
Yeah. Was there any more talk about the integration of those solutions, particularly the calc engines into Dayforce? Did they talk about that at all, or anything there?
Honestly, a lot of the integration conversation was around the integration studio concept and, and the idea of marketplace and opening up some marketplace. But I do think that the focus there, now, again, this is, largely a lot of the activity was geared toward partners, is the idea that there's a partner ecosystem, right? That's developing and extending and building out. It's a little less in my mind, kind of the wide open marketplace that we see ADP tapping right now, where, kind of like anybody and everybody is participating in that marketplace. I think we're going to see it grow, first and foremost into partner extensions and folks that know and appreciate the power of opening up integration design studios so that you can actually do some custom things for your client or the industry you serve or the geos.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's interesting. I just had an update on the ADP marketplace, and very, very, very big and very thriving. So marketplaces are all the rage. And again, like back to what we said about OneSource, right? It's all about making the ecosystem more powerful and more value added. So I love it.
I did hear a fun term, as you know, a lot of these players are also moving toward an SI partner, right? Where you have a deployment partner that's separate from yourself. And so I did hear the term report marketplace coming. And the context for that was the SIs that are helping to support an implementation or deployment are bringing forward their, already developed report packages, dashboard packages, and so forth. It's a lot like what, we've heard in years prior around the cloud, HCM cloud market with SAPs and Oracles and Workday, where they might talk about that as accelerators, right? That's kind of more the language that the SIs have used. And here in this context, it caught my attention that we were talking about SIs bringing forward things to a report marketplace. So
very cool.
That terminology, it was it caught my eye.
Yeah, power the ecosystem again. Okay, anything else on Ceridian? I'm actually meeting with them next week at PayCon, so I'm looking forward to an update. I haven't spoke to them in a little while, so.
Awesome. Lots of things going on over there. So let's see.
Good.
You had another one here. You were going to call out.
Yes, I was in Austin for the first time. And now this is interesting for me because I went to meet with Zoho. I'm not sure if you're familiar. Broad-based technology, ERP solution provider, almost I don't want to say a mini Google, but similar, right? Just so many different things they do. I mean, that might be the knock on them, right? A mile wide and an inch deep. They've got all this great workplace technology to do just about anything that you'd like to do in your organization. And in fact, this was the first time I had ever been to a vendor event where I was both a customer. I use Zoho in my business for invoicing and billing and email and other things. So it was interesting. I was there as a customer and an analyst. So it was a first for me. And
what did you learn?
Yeah, well, I can tell you, I was really, really surprised to learn, and I'm hoping to have more conversations, but they're really pushing into the HR space very seriously and quietly. And I think that what you're seeing is when I'm trying to find my notes here, they have, let me just read to you. They have core HR, payroll, recruiting, learning, collaboration tools, analytics, and they're on their roadmap, deeper integrations, performance management, compensation, benefits, and more payroll to come, more engines to come. So they actually have a pretty decent, I'd say it's probably light and down market at this stage, but they're building a strong complementary core HCM offering to complement. Really, they're bringing workforce technology into their workplace technology, as we've kind of been talking about a little bit in our theme here today. And I think that, when you look at it and you say, well, okay, what do they know about HR, right? Are they really going to come here and disrupt? And I'm not saying that they're going to race out there and start knocking off Workday and Dayforce and UKG tomorrow, but if you look at their organization, they have a tremendous, just a model culture. The work that they do to help communities and the way that they approach, the way they take care of their employees and the loyalty that their employees have and just the warm, infectious culture that you feel when you're there with them. It's really well known. It reminds me a lot of almost reminds me of the early Ultimate Software days, right? Just that almost family kind of culture, which I think can be kind of weird, but it works, right? Like they are very, very, just very employee focused and culture focused. And I think that if they are able to create what they have created in their world, in their software, I think they've got a great chance of being a very formidable solution. And again, they already have a great workplace technology. Now they're bringing the workforce technology to that. I think it's going to be an interesting, interesting solution that's out there, and I'm excited to keep an eye on it. So yeah.
I have a question for you. Can
yes.
you tell, is that client driven? Like they have clients that are driving them that way? Is it just addressable market and knowing that that talent is such a hotspot for folks, or any ideas?
I think it's the employee experience, right? The fact that, I think it is pulled. They are getting pulled that way. I think that as we saw, right, we talked about remember earlier, we talked to Microsoft, we talked to IBM, we talked to UKG and Google, right? What is that again? It's workplace technology, right? The stuff we do day to day, merging with that world, crossing over into the world of our careers and our, and our management and frontline leadership and all that, talent development, all the things that kind of are adjacent to the things we do every day and the softwares that we do every day. And I think their viewpoint is they want to help the employee experience just as much as they can. I think they are being pulled in that direction to bring more of that capability into their platform so that you can be inside of Zoho and never really leave the platform. So really cool stuff.
Can't wait to see how that works out. I remember when chatbots first started coming out, there were, broader chatbot apps that then, kind of made a run at HR specific applications. But when you start doing that, you're also talking about kind of the niche world of the HR, the HR organization, and you move away a little bit from the workforce, which is a much broader impact. And so I think there's got to be a little bit of a balance when tech led solutions, try to play from the workforce market into the HR market. And it's great when somebody actually cracks it and gets some really cool stuff out to market.
Yeah. And the good news is, look, the employee experience is more than tech. They of all organizations totally get that, right? They're living that already in their culture. They're living that in just the power of that culture, being able to be very, very value driven and driving a lot of growth for them, right? And a lot of performance. So I think that, harnessing that and figuring out how to turn that into tech is going to be interesting. So, but I think they got a good chance. I'm excited to watch them.
That's great. Well, let's watch and see where that goes. So are we ready to talk about, possibly seeing each other next week here?
I know next week is the annual American Payroll Congress in Denver, Colorado, and I'm excited. The Super Bowl of Payroll, as I have dubbed it. I heard someone say that to me the other day, and I was very proud because they got that from me. But I'm excited. Yeah, and secret time here. This is only my second one.
Okay.
I've not been that much. I'm not really a veteran per se. But I'm super excited. I think it's just, the cool thing about it is, right, I love the theme this year, art and science. And I was just talking about this to our good friends over at Sapien on their podcast, the HR Huddle, recently, about how, it is a lot of technology and process and data and all of that, but it takes a lot of art, right? It takes a lot of creativity and adaptability and agility for a payroll manager to get it done these days, especially if they're dealing with outdated tools and technology. And they really are magicians, let's be honest. So excited to see it, right? It's always a huge celebration of the community. A lot of fun. You've been before, I know, Julie.
Yep, absolutely. And, it really is, like you said, kind of a who's who. And it's a great place, a little bit like HR Tech. There's a lot of everybody that touches that world, usually at this Congress. And so it's a great place to go if you're looking for things, or if you're trying to build some relationships, or you just want to meet your peers there, right? A lot of folks are just really excited because there aren't a lot of places where payroll resources are celebrated and, get to really network and do some of the sharing that's so important to growing and taking advantage of peer insights. So it's an awesome event.
I don't know about you, but I don't know very many people that are hopeful about the world of work. And I'd like to change that. My name is Marcus Mossberger, and I started the Hope at Work podcast, where you'll find two things. Number one, really interesting guests. And number two, innovative ideas about the future of work. Check it out.
Oh yeah, and a lot of fun too. I mean, from the parties every night to the costume contest. Have you ever seen the costume contest, Julie?
I don't think I have.
We should have coordinated. It's in the daytime. It's. I mean, and people really. I mean, I can't to say they go all out is almost an understatement. I feel like I'm not participating well by not coming with my costume. So next year we got to come up with something. We got to really come up with something good, right?
All right.
We'll be a dual costume, right? A team. But I'm excited. I tell you, I'm excited to see everyone there. I'm excited for the networking. I'm excited for the learning. There's typically last year, I think there was like 15,000 people, maybe. I think I heard. It's big, right? A lot of folks heading out there, right? A lot of learning, a lot of stuff going on. And I tell you, the thing I've noticed, right? Global payroll is a big emphasis on the just at a surface level, looking at what's going on, right? Big party Tuesday night where Workday, obviously on the heels of their Alight announcement, are having a big party with Alight, I think Payslip and a couple of other core provider partners of theirs. They're doing a global payroll sort of party. So that's going to be really cool. Workday's really starting to dip their toe out there. And I think there's a lot of solutions that are new, right? A lot of fintech is going to be there. There's going to be, I certainly know all of the earned wage access providers are going to be there. There's almost no vendor I've talked to that is planning to head there. So I'm excited for all of it.
It's the who's who. Okay, so I
Yeah.
have a challenge for you. I
Okay.
really want to know, now that the world of conferences has been opening back up and people
Oh, yeah.
have been trickling into their favorites, I am finding some pretty erratic results. Like swag used to be a really big deal. And
Yeah.
it was like what knickknacks and odds and ends, or folks. I love looking to see if somebody's gotten a really great idea, but sadly, a lot of it's.
What's the best thing? What's the best piece of swag you've ever received, Julie? What's your favorite?
My recent favorite is, oh Lord, I don't even know if I'm going to remember. It was a learning provider, and I'm ashamed that I don't remember which one it was. But they're little thumb drives, and they're shaped like little monkeys. And the head comes off to like to protect the thumb drive and stick it in. And I am embarrassed that I don't remember who gave the swag, but it's really fun. And I just don't find that as many folks are. You kind of have to, if you have a booth, you have a swag. But I think, I don't know if people are just tired of bringing swag home or what, but I just want to know, like, take a quick poll for me and tell me.
I will.
To swag
I will.
or not to swag.
I know. Yeah. Well, let me tell you my favorite. Let me tell you one that's my favorite and one that I'm curious about. And I've been thinking we could do an episode around.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You want to hear this?
Yes,
so first, my favorite, right? You're going to laugh. My favorite of all time was given to me by TCP. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're a Dayforce partner, and I believe they are in the time and attendance world. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. They gave out bamboo back scratcher, and I love it. It's on my desk. I use it almost every day. I have horrible shoulders and I can't reach my back. So scratching my back is super, super helpful. The one that I'm most curious about, I just received this and I'm trying to figure out how we can make an episode out of this. So you have to help me here. Have you ever played the game Cards Against Humanity?
Yes. I have teenagers and 20s.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yes. All right. I hear it's very popular with the younger crowd. I have never played, but OneSource Virtual at Unleash gave out Cards Against HR game.
Really? Oh,
yes. I think we have to do this. So I'm trying to figure out how we could play this game. I think we need at least 3 to 5 people. So I'm wondering if we could get a couple of folks to come on with us, a couple of maybe some leaders or executives, whatever, anyone to come on. And we need to figure that out. And we need to play Cards Against HR. So that is the one I am the most curious about.
All right.
But to answer your question, I think that you're right. I think that there is, I think there's 2 camps. I think there are folks that love them, especially parents. I used to bring home all that crap and bring it to my kids and be like, here, kill each other for it, like go, and they look forward to me coming home. So that's always kind of was my lens to put it through. But I think that what you're seeing is a lot of like even at Success Connect last year, they said none of that was allowed. And that was for carbon footprint and sustainability purposes. So I like that. But I don't know. I think you have to have a little bit of a balance, right? Because people like to have a little swag every now and again. And
for those of you who haven't been to the in-person conferences in a while, you might be shocked to know that men's socks are a big deal, right?
Oh yeah. I'm wearing my GPMI socks right now.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Nathan North would be proud. Yeah.
You wouldn't think, but it's truly those.
I love them.
A hot item.
I love them. So thank you though to OneSource Virtual. I thought that was a great game, and we're going to figure out how to do an episode of it. I think it would be so fun. Well, anyway, I know you're tentative next week, and I'm hoping that you are going to be there. But what, if anything, are you looking to see? Anything? I'm dying. I'm really excited to see. What the reaction is to a lot of the new technologies, right? Generative is a big topic. I know AI is scary for payroll practitioners. There's still a lot of folks that haven't gone through transformation. There's still a lot of folks that are considering should they deploy an earned wage access solution. So I'm anxious to see what people are buzzing about and what people are saying and doing when it comes to this adopting these things, right? Because I don't know that it's happening quite fast enough.
Yeah, that's a good point. And for me, so I'm going to pick a different angle, and my angle is going to be the global angle. And as you know, there's just so much going on, whether you're talking about global payroll, global mobility, EOR, there's this pretty incestuous universe of ways to address global that is arisen. It's almost buyer beware out there. And so I'll just be interested to see what sorts of snippets and perspectives folks are leading with when it comes to the global topic.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a lot of global payroll planning to be represented there, and I'm curious what the appetite is. Right, I know the GPMI is getting bigger. I know the multinational footprints are getting bigger. So excited to see it all, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of EOR and global payroll there to solve it. So
All right. Well, let's see what we see, and I'm sure we'll be happy to tell folks all about it.
Yes. Hope to see you there. And I'm hoping to capture some really good conversations around the event next week, and I'm hoping to bring that together as a show, so an episode for the show. So just look out for that.
That sounds like fun. Pete's on the move, and he might be recording. So
yes.
beware.
Yes. All right. So that's APA primer, I guess you could call it. So Julie, what do you have coming up? What's next for you?
Oh, you know what? I just got home, so I haven't even looked. I mean, I'm hoping we'll be together next week. That's been on my radar for next week. And then, Dave, who did the episode with us last week, we have that skills webinar that's going on the 23rd. So
yes,
we're getting ready for that. And if anybody's looking for that, hit me up in LinkedIn. I think we have a blog out that would show how to reach us. And, we haven't just been doing a link, Pete, because usually it's a practitioner event and not just a wide open event. So
yeah, understood.
So otherwise we get more than we can handle, and it just becomes,
understood. Yeah, no worries. So reach out to Julie. We'll get you, make sure you get onto that. And for me, I've got a lot next week at the APA, doing a short keynote on my career, which I'm excited for and also a little bit scared. And then I hate talking about myself, just for those scoring at home. And also a bunch of things I'm doing with Team Daily Pay, Team Payslip. Just so much going on there. I definitely join me next week at APA if you can. We've got a Mythbusters session going on that is going to be a lot of fun. I understand, speaking of swag, there's a very unique shirt, I believe, that are being given out to the attendees there. So come for that. That is going to be a lot of fun, right? Mythbusters panel is all I can say. And then
figure out how to do video clips on this podcast.
I know. And I've got a lot scheduled with Daily Pay during the summer as well. We've got a webinar happening on the 23rd as well. I think I might have mentioned that same day as you. That is going to be a discussion with one of the practitioners that has deployed Earned Wage Access and sort of what his experience is. And then we're also doing an APA hosted session on the 28th of June that is actually going to be a live sort of rerun, if you will, not a recording, but another live redo of the Mythbusters panel we do at the APA event in Denver will actually be replicated. We're going to do it again with a different panel at the American Payroll Association virtual webinars on the 28th of June. So yeah, look for that. Lots going on.
Sounds fun. And, I know you and I have been talking about it. We're trying to find a way to maybe put together some pieces with a little bit more frequency. So if folks start to see that we've got new episodes out a little bit more quickly than we've been putting them out, some will be longer, some will be shorter, but I think we're getting the hang of this. So
yeah, more content on the way. We're trying to pulse out more episodes. We've had a lot of great feedback. So trying to do more guests, more stuff. So, all right. Julie, thank you so much for this. I'm hoping I'll see you next week. We'll find out soon, and we will see everyone, or talk to everyone, I guess you could say. You'll hear us very soon.
That's right. Reach out. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Take care.